Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which I think is coming to an end real soon. Which is alright. Like, this was a good attempt, I think, at, like, something different.
The fate of countless individuals.
It's a neat combination of the Night Springs TV show, the Alan Wake mythos, while also kind of creating this kind of like arcade package.
He has saved one life.
I don't necessarily consider it something that fans necessarily wanted. Like, they wanted, I don't know, more resolution to Alan Wake, or at the very least some sort of continuation of that Alan Wake storyline. And this doesn't. This is more like a teaser than anything else. But like I said before, I don't necessarily remember how it ends. I presume you uncover a film clip from Alice. And
turning to the observatory for what he hopes is the final time, the man feels anticipation and dread in equal measure. Soon, he knows he will have what he needs.
And if I remember, like, the best I can recollect is, like, Mr. Scratch is telling you that Alice believes you're dead. And I'm guessing that the film says otherwise.
I was expecting you. I've already taken care of the imaging array, but you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things even show up.
Yeah, probably not. Is not going to happen. But I do, like, even though the game really reuses its environment, like, even though the game really enjoys reusing its environment. Oh, you're just gonna climb on over? The developers still didn't. They still wanted to avoid the trap of repetition. Oh my! That guy just flew off. So, like, even though the problems you're dealing with are largely the same, your approaches are different. So, there is the desire to kind of create something. Son of a. Where did. There we go.
Very good. I believe we're ready to look into the sky.
Excellent. Maybe. Not if the darkness has anything to say about it. Though, because of that recycled and reused content, it definitely makes it obvious that they only had so much money. And like I think I've mentioned before, is that Alan Wake wasn't that financially lucrative. Like, it's become cult status since then. Yep. Dodge faster, Alan. Not slower. Alright, let's back up. Let's shoot a flare at these guys. Because my dodges are a little bit off right now. There we go. So yeah, the entire idea of making a sequel was entirely dependent on how much money they could really acquire. And, oh, yep, because that's the way, that's not the way forward. And, like, Remedy had spent so long making Alan Wake it eventually reached to a point where you had quotes from, I think Sam Link said, like, we're not a game factory, but 6 years for one game is too long. And I would agree. But Alan Wake went through so many, went through several renditions before it became what it eventually did become. What is in here? Combat shotgun. Yes, I will try that out. Like, it started off as this big open world game on, I want to say, a different system. Oh. Excuse me, sirs, I don't really have that much health, so if you can... There we go. Just line up directly in front of this combat shotgun. That would be most appreciated. And then... Oh, hello. And then, after this game, I believe yeah, the next game would have been, Quantum Break. And then Control.
Come on in.
Which has suddenly provided itself, like, Control provided Remedy a means to get back to making Alan Wake again. Even if it was just in the form of an add-on.
This is what you look like. Does that bother you? I bet it does. I'm not just wearing your face, you know. It goes a lot deeper than
I need to take his face.
There's a lot of you
Oh.
and me. All the best parts. At first, I was just an idea. But they kept telling all those stories about you. You already had that rep. And then you disappeared mysteriously. And then the stories about bad, crazy Alan Wake came true. And here I am. That's the best part, isn't it? When that happens, you can always count on Cauldron Lake. I'm just as real as you are. And I'm the improved version. No fears, no doubt, no weaknesses, no self-deception here. I don't let anything drag me down. I know you like I know myself. I know it bothers you that I'm like this.
Okay, I definitely like the lighting at this particular moment. The flashing red light in his face.
I only do it because I'm better at being you than you ever were.
Scratch that. I'll just improve myself. Yep. What? You know, I was hoping for at least one instance where I wouldn't necessarily have to worry about copyrighted music, demonetizing a video. Oh my gosh. Let's try that again. And hopefully we'll have all 3 health blocks, because I didn't see any safe havens on my way up here. Alright. So this uses different selection of shotgun ammo? Oh, that guy's bugging out. That guy's grenade missed, which is why it bounced all the way back there. Anybody else want some? The fact that the music is still going means that there's probably somebody else that wants some. Oh, hello. This guy's just casually roaming around up top here. And there's his buddy. Everybody seems to love... Oh my gosh. Guy, can you please move, like, more than a foot away from me? Ah! Oh, geesh. That was a lot of camera movement in one short amount of time. Anybody else? Sounds like there's somebody else. Nope, the light's turned on. Alright.
But I wish these things would stop blatantly violating the laws of physics in my observatory.
Yeah, it's always very inconvenient.
You're right.
It's very rude when creatures violate the laws of physics.
I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's...
That is a good point. If we're always rewinding time, why are we still aware of things? And that's the thing. That kind of leads into my own theory that this entire thing really isn't necessarily a time loop, but just an illusion created by Alan Wake's psyche. So he's not really looping back in time as much as he is projecting himself to loop back in time. So his projections remember things because he remembers things because he created this in his head.
Yes, it's completed.
Finally. If all goes well, this should be the last time we go through the loop.
You know, I just realized that I don't have any memory of what happens after you leave. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. If everything goes well, you just keep going. I don't show up here like this again, no more bad guys. Things go back to normal.
Let's hope you're right. I'd love the opportunity to look into this in more detail.
Looks like you've accepted the situation.
I'm a pragmatist. If this is a delusion, at least my first psychotic episode is anything but boring. Really, Mr. Wake, at the end of the day...
How do you know it's your first?
Mysteries, I'd love to know. Whatever else this might be, it's absolutely fascinating. I wonder how far this reaches. Is everybody in the world experiencing this?
Who knows? I think reality's probably pretty fragile right now. Doctor, I can see you're very enthusiastic about this. I'd appreciate a bit of discretion.
Are you suggesting that we should suppress this?
No. You can do what you like, but I want you to leave me out of it.
But surely, with the things you know, the things you've experienced, you can replicate any of these results. We could...
Let me be blunt. If you drag me into this, I'll deny everything. I'll lie like my life depended on it. And writers are damn good liars. Word of advice. This is things man was not meant to know territory. You get into this, chances are you'll open up a door into a world of hurt. Believe me, I know.
I see.
But, like she said, she has no memories of what happens after Alan Wake leaves. Which, I feel, definitely adds on to my theory that...
In a strange way,
that she doesn't necessarily exist outside of his imagination.
when the time comes, they will be enough, or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation.
that she exists as like a character in a novel. She has her own motivations enough to make herself like self-aware, but still fulfill the purposes of the story.
Against a power that can pierce time itself, he doesn't show it. The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more, but cowardice is not among them.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you got yourself a little plan, do you?
Yes. How did you know? Oh my gosh. That was pretty awesome. And that definitely did the job. Oh, did I just skip over to the generators? I mean, that makes perfect sense. But the game was like, hey, what if Alan Wake just drove up to the generators themselves? There we go. That was a close one. Ah, that was not a close one. Ah. How many... There goes you. Nope. Alright. And now let's get our health back because we need to. And is this version of the generators filled with spiders? No spider webs this time. Also a neat little trick. If you can't vary up the level design, might as well vary up the enemies. Let's see, is there... Oh, there's a flashbang. I don't need to swap out a combat shotgun. Because a combat shotgun is probably way better than a pump action. I think the generator layout has changed somewhat. Though I could be horribly wrong. Ah, hello. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Ah. Jeez. That was a lot of hits in one go. And you, sir, can you please stop moving around? Thank you very much. All right. Now, one last trip through these electricity fields. You know, if your junction boxes are making so much electricity, it is causing sparks to dangerously fly around your generators, you might need to get that repaired. Alright, and then we can take... How do I get out of this area? Up, there we go. Oh, thank you. Dark mist.
You're never getting out of this, Wake. Never! Don't worry. I'll take care of your wife and your life.
So wait, didn't I need a generator room key in order to get here? No escape from the copywritten music. I didn't realize this, I forgot that this DLC really doubles down. Son of a... I forgot that the DLC really doubles down. Oh my, that was, Alright, let's try that again. I forgot that the DLC doubles down on the copywritten music. Like, Remedy does like putting copywritten music into their stuff, especially after Alan Wake. When you had Alan Wake, you had the radio that you would sometimes find. Quantum Break had the music that played in between episodes. Well, all right.
What you think you're doing, but I'll send you right back to the beginning.
You can try. You know, I just had a thought. A missed opportunity for this DLC.
What? You think whatever it is you're gonna do is gonna make a difference? This'll end up just like before!
If you're trapped in a time loop, and you're constantly being sent back to the beginning... Actually, never mind. It's not really a fresh idea from me. It is a fresh idea from Arcane Studios, who are themselves essentially making this game. They're calling it Deathloop, in which you're fundamentally sent back... Ah, son of a... Can you please stop? There we go. Let's pull out the, Let's pull out the flare gun for this finale. God damn it. My timing for the dodges is not quite as good as I'd like them to be. And there it goes. Because yeah, a death loop is like essentially forcing you to learn the different paths in order to figure out how to escape from said loop. And I think that's kind of a missed opportunity for this game, in which, like, if you're stuck on this time loop, it is your job to figure out how to escape it. I wonder if there's a way I can talk to Serena, or am I prevented from doing so? That's why I'm going to be heading up here for just a second. So yeah, instead of the plot kind of filling in the gaps for you, and you're just moving from fight scene to fight scene, like, it's up to you to figure out how to escape this loop yourself. Like, what pieces of the puzzle you have to acquire.
Oh, hey.
I'm hoping I can put an end to this now.
You'd better. I really don't want that to happen to me again. It's like somebody vomited in my brain, like a sleazy movie that keeps looping in my head.
I'll stop this, I swear.
You know the part that's really screwed up? If you mess it up, it'll just keep happening forever, right? I don't think I can deal with that.
Don't think about that.
I don't think of anything but.
Hey, afterwards, when all this is done, look me up. This thing, I can probably help you deal with it.
I don't know.
You know, Darkness,
almost like I'm not even in the same
Survivors.
world anymore. Everything's just weird.
Darkness Survivors Anonymous.
I know. A lot of that'll pass with time, but being touched by the darkness, it's rough on you. It's a lot to process, and I just don't want you to get completely screwed up by this.
Might be a little late for that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's degrees. At least you're not at a point where you go around picking fights with people over not changing their light bulbs often enough.
What?
Never mind. All I'm saying is, you're not alone with this. And anyway, you're friends with Alice, so, you know, any friend of hers.
Thank you.
Well, like, it would also kind of enable the limited amount of content to stand out a little bit more and focus less about going through the loops several times and in plot-related purposes, and more about, like, what did you miss on a specific loop? Alternatively, what if it was kind of closer to, say, like a combination of Deathloop and Dead Rising, where you had a limited amount of time in order to complete specific activities. Actually, at that point, then it would be closer to Majora's Mask, because you had only 3 days in order to complete the goal, and otherwise the game would end, and you would just end up looping back to the beginning. Either way, I feel like there's a lot of different things they could have done to make this a little bit more interesting. As a gameplay idea, rather than just more a focus on combat. It was late at night. The summer was almost over. There was a film noir poster visible. A spotlight illuminated the red fire extinguisher. Alice's film was in the projector. Where is Alice's film?
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this? No! No! You can't do this! All I did was take the things you always wanted and never had the balls to go for! It's my turn now! It's my life! It's my life!
An interesting way to defeat the villain, but at the same time, as a game, like, it essentially robs you of a boss fight. There's no actual boss fight between you and Mr. Scratch.
Alan? Is it really you?
It's really me.
How? I love you.
I love you.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last.
And also, I wonder if there was a way that this DLC could really kind of...
Or merely a dream, a memory, or a glimpse of what is
have a stronger grasp on that Night Springs inspiration. Alternatively, maybe it was almost a mistake to just have it Alan Wake focused. What if it was just like an anthology type thing, and it was just like a separate type of storyline for Night Springs. Like, maybe just kind of including the Alan Wake gameplay was more problematic than anything else. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. All I can say is it's all right. Okay, yeah, I'm skipping whatever that credit sequence was. There's also this arcade action mode, which, as you can see, I did not play very much of. But let's give a try at Ghost Town. Hopefully I'll try to sum up my thoughts in regards to this DLC. It's okay. It's an interesting expansion of the storyline,
Both will be needed on this dark hour.
though it doesn't necessarily, because of its disconnection to the main storyline, because of its very non-canon feel. Crossbow. It makes it easier to forget this particular storyline. And then move on to something else. Because, like, Max Payne... Max Payne. Oh my god. No. Because, like, I was about to say Max Payne again. Because, Alan Wake is such a story-driven game. It makes, like, it makes the whole arcade, style a little bit on the silly side. Like, not necessarily something that is wanted. Like, what is wanted is more storyline, because it's a story-driven game. We want to find out what happens next, what is really going on underneath that lake, which is not a lake, but merely an ocean. And having a spin-off episode that is... I'll keep... let's switch to the machine gun. Is not quite as exciting. They took the groundwork that was Alan Wake, and they made a nifty little spin-off game. But otherwise, yeah. Like, this isn't exactly something I generally go back to. Like, if I was going back to play Alan Wake, I would play Alan Wake. I would play the DLC for Alan Wake, the writer, the signal. Not necessarily this one. Which, like, it isn't bad. I would definitely not consider it a bad game. It is just very clearly cheap. It is made on a budget. And I feel like the reason why I would say that is because of its reuse of environments. Like, if it didn't reuse its environments so much, maybe I would cut it a little bit more slack. Also, I need a gun that is not this crossbow. I mean, the hunting rifle isn't necessarily that much better. Oh, hello. But it's better than the hunting rifle is definitely better than the crossbow. If I had to give this DLC a score, probably a 7 out of 10. It's a nice little appetizer for what comes next. But then nothing came next. And at least until AWE came out. So that was a good... So I looked up when this game came out, and it was 2012. So it's been a few years since Alan Wake has gotten to be in a video game. Since he has been able to make his triumphant return. And it's good to know that the lack of financial success, should I say, did not damage Remedy as a company, or should I say it did not ruin Remedy as a company, and it has allowed them to, and they are still able to make games to this day. In the meantime, got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.